Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop for another week of Saturday Night Special. So this week is going to be more of a recap video for my trip from Ohio last week, and there's probably not going to be any machining in this episode, so sorry to disappoint some of you guys, but I am working on some other videos outside of SNS that's going to be machining related, so hopefully I'm going to have some of those ready to upload as well. So just stay on the lookout. We've got some more machining coming. But I always like to share all of our adventures and everything we get into. So I took some footage while we were on our trip in Kentucky and Ohio, and I want to share that in this SNS. So we had a successful meet and greet up in Lexington, and I want to thank everybody that came out to that event. It was wonderful. We had a really good turnout. We probably had somewhere around maybe 25, 30 guests that showed up there at the brewery, and we had a great time. Always amazes me, you know, how far away people travel from to come to these events. There was people that drove from several hours outside of Lexington that wanted to come and hang out and meet everybody. And you know, we had Brian Block there and Steve Summers, and it was just a great time. We had a good time. Abby helped me, and she helped get a little bit of footage of that event. Just wanted to kind of share that with all of my viewers out there, what the place looked like, and you know, and the guests that showed up. So again, thanks everybody that came out to that meetup there. And then on the way up to Ohio, I stopped off in Dayton, and I wanted to visit with my friends there at Gerstner USA and just kind of chat with them. They wanted to kick around some ideas on some possible maybe doing another collaboration with me in the future. So we sat down and we just talked about some ideas on maybe something that we can work together with in the near future. A lot of the viewers seem to really enjoy those videos that we did of the shop tour and then restoring the Gerstner chest there. So we would like to work together again, maybe bring something else there to the channel. So we talked about that, and then while I was there, I had a little question and answer session with Scott Campbell, the president of Gerstner, and I wanted to get a definitive answer from him on a very common question that I got in the videos about the Gerstner chest. So you got to just watch the video to see what Scott Campbell has to say about that. All right, and then we had our business up in Ohio, and then on the way back, well, the business in Ohio was one of those was going up to Wapakoneta and visiting Flexarm. So we got some footage of that. You know, went up to Flexarm. I picked up my new Flexarm machine. It's going to be a separate shop tour video on that, and I've also got some footage of you know, getting it unloaded and bringing it in the shop. We're going to have a lot more video on that coming in the near future of getting it set up here on the table, things like that. On the way back from Ohio, I stopped off in Louisville, and I wanted to visit Machine Tool Emporium. He had a Monarch lathe there that I was kind of interested in looking at, and since we were driving right through on the way home, I wanted to stop in there. So we got some footage of that, of looking at the machinery there at Machine Tool Emporium. It's always fun to look at all the big heavy iron, especially all the big manual machines. So we got that footage to share with you, and just a little recap at the end of whenever we get back home, showing some things there. So that's the footage that I've got for this SNS, and hopefully you guys enjoy. And again, I'm still working on some other machining related content that hopefully I'll have to share with you very soon. Okay, so we're looking forward for our vacation and ready to hit the road. All right, hope you guys enjoy. We're at our meet and greet in Lexington at the Blue Stallion, right?
Blue Stallion, yes. Let me show you the bar.
Blue Stallion.
Look at that.
We're having the
You damn Skippy.
we're having your damn Skippy peanut butter beer.
Peanut butter porter, and it's delicious. Oh, is that what you got too?
That's exactly what
Oh, it's delicious.
It's some good beer.
Okay.
So we've got a big turnout. There's a lot of folks here.
Lexington Lager.
Everybody wave.
Hey, Bob.
So I'm going to see if Abby will kind of go around, maybe get a little video of everybody that's here. I think everybody's still here. Brian Block's here. Steve Summers is here. And there's a lot of viewers here. We got another camera over here.
Hello. All right, yeah, I'll roam around.
get some video and we'll share it on SNS. How about that?
Sounds good. Thank you for waving, everyone. Wave at the camera, everybody. This bar is pretty cool. It's a brewery, and the beer is delicious. A couple of viewers there.
All right, we're on round 5. Question number 1. How long do you have?
We got trivia going. I have known every answer. I'm just kidding.
1 week to live. 7 days. Okay, moving on to the gym and paint category. Question number 2. So for a Christmas gift, Pam creates a hand-drawn comic book about Jim, who gets attacked by a radioactive what? Again, for a Christmas gift, Pam creates a hand-drawn comic book about Jim, who gets attacked by a radioactive
Very
what?
cool. After this video, he will never have me video anything again.
This is the first time I've actually got to walk back
How
here.
cool is this?
This is really cool. They actually offered to take the chains down here and set up a table back here for the group.
And you decline?
Well, I declined because
You're fired.
everybody's just kind of like hanging out.
I know. People are coming and going.
It's really cool though.
Very cool.
Has my assistant got any pictures of this yet?
Yes.
Sure. It's been a good turnout though. There's a lot of people here.
Everyone's very excited, and of course, like always, everyone is wonderful. This is the greatest group of people.
Well, the only people here are the people that want to be here and they're excited to be here and we're all having a good time.
We love it.
Oh yeah.
He is.
All right, guys, I've been on my road trip and I thought I would stop by my buddies up here at Gerstner & Sons, and I've got Scott Campbell with me, the president here at Gerstner, and I just wanted to stop by and say hello to everybody and see how things are going and talk about some tool chest again. And since I was here, I wanted to get Scott to answer one simple question that I've had many times on the videos since they come through, okay? And that question is why did Mr. Gerstner put the mirrors on the tool chest? So this is one of their new tool chests right here. So Scott, can you give my viewers a definitive answer as to why Mr. Gerstner started putting these mirrors on his tool chest?
I'd love to. The reason he started putting mirrors in the chest, when we started in 1906, a lot of the companies didn't have indoor plumbing. So at the end of the day, whether you're a mechanic or a machinist and you're getting ready to go home for the day, you wanted to be able to look and see if you had any dirt, grease, machine oil on your face, just make sure you didn't walk out with something big on your forehead. It kind of evolved after that, as while you're working, you think you might get something in your eye. It's an immediate place to go where there's a mirror where you can check it out. And so it's become synonymous with Gerstner. A lot of people have copied it. A lot of people have put it in that classic diamond pattern. Other companies mounted it as a square pattern. You see round mirrors in there, but anytime somebody sees that diamond-shaped mirror, the first thing they think of is a Gerstner.
Okay.
And today's machinists still like it in there, and a lot of guys will use it to make sure their boss isn't standing behind them so they can look busy while they're working.
There you go. So that was some of the comments that I heard was so that, you know, the guys out there, the machinists, the craftsmen out there in the shop could come up to their chest and look at their face and clean themselves up, comb their hair, and to you know, pick metal shards out of their eyes.
Right.
So those are all correct.
Those are all correct theories. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it started out just to make sure you look good before you left for the day.
Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to hear, but I wanted my viewers to actually hear that from the source.
Sure.
So I appreciate you giving me that answer. And you had mentioned something else that I thought was interesting as well. And you said that Mr. Gerstner tried to patent this mirror. Is that correct?
We did. It was later on down, probably in the 40s and 50s, because everybody thought diamond-shaped mirror, it's got to be a Gerstner. So he went through and tried to do some patenting, and they said at that time it had been so long it became an industry standard, and you can't patent an industry standard. So we had eventually had to give up on that idea. But still today, anybody, if you see a diamond-shaped mirror, everybody thinks it's a Gerstner, and they call us and comment on it.
Okay. Well, man, I really appreciate you giving us that info. And I, like I said, I'm glad I finally actually heard it from Gerstner, from the source. So, Scott, I appreciate you answering. And thanks for having me back up here.
Sure.
Always enjoy visiting Dayton and getting to see the shop again. So, great place.
All right. Thanks for coming.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going through Louisville, Kentucky, and I stopped by Machine Tool Emporium, Abby and I, and they sell used machine tools here. And they've got a couple of Monarch lathes that I've been looking at that I wanted to, since we're coming through, I wanted to take the opportunity to actually look at them in person. They've got some other machine tools in here as well. There's another Monarch lathe over here, but there's two of them identical in size, and they're 22-inch Monarchs. 22 cm, they'll swing 24 and a half inch, and the bed length on both of them are 96 inches. So I just wanted to kind of look them over and see what kind of condition they're in. This one we might be able to plug in and run it. I don't know. The owner of the business is actually out of town right now, so his helper is here, but he doesn't actually plug everything in and run it. Mark, the owner, is the one that actually operates everything, so I don't know if I'll be able to actually turn everything on. But anyway, it was on the way through, so we're just passing through. But let's take a look at this thing. This is very similar to the one that Dad had, except it was a little smaller, obviously. Okay, so we got the D18 cam lock. Turn it on, all the gears go in. Okay. This will be your clutch engagement right there. Of course, this is all for your feeds. This one will go down to 3/4 on your thread pitch right there, and up to a 46. The finest pitch is a 46 there. Let's go down and take a look at it. I'm not really sure what to do with this. This may have been some kind of makeshift chuck guard, I'm assuming. Maybe they had some kind of chuck guard on this thing. And I believe it only has the 3-jaw on this. The good thing is that there is one steady rest with this one right here. It does have the taper attachment. And it's got the coolant system on there. The coolant pump is back there. A little bit of backlash in the nut, screw. I really like this handle on this thing right here. This is nice. We've got a little bit of damage on the tailstock. This bracket here, this is what you use to crank the tailstock on the Monarch right here. But it looks like it's been a pretty decent braze. You can come on in. See, we got a braze here, we got a braze there. This is common on these old machines. These things get hit up there. That carriage comes back and these things get hit. So it's just common repair. But braze properly, these things usually hold. We got a little bit of a hack repair done on this handle right here. The original wrench is with it, that's good. Oftentimes these are missing. Coolant pump comes equipped. I don't know if it works or not, but that's a good sign. Taper attachment. So I'm gonna take a look at the waves too. Got the serial number stamped right there. It's got what appears to be normal wear in the ways, but it doesn't seem to be excessive wear. You can just barely feel a little ridge there at the bottom. Not much though. Same on the other side, so I would expect to be normal wear in a 1940s lathe. Four-way tool post, which I always find to be kind of ugly, but useful. Four-way turret. I don't know. It's I think it's just the right size that we might be able to shoehorn it into the current shop, and that's the reason why I'm looking at these right here. I want a 144-inch center lathe, but that might have to wait until another time until we get a bigger shop. But this right here might fit in there and give me some bigger swing capabilities. So let's go check out that other one over there by the wall. So we just found out from Mark that the one that I just showed you actually just sold. He just sold it last week. So the other one is right here. This one is identical inside. This one's interesting though. Showing this the blonde. It's a little shorty. Big machine that you're just working up by the chuck. You're not doing anything wrong with it. Let's look at this one. I don't know what's going on back here, but they've added on some kind of gearbox system to run the lead screws, and I'm not really sure what's up. I've never seen such a fine pitched lead screw on a machine before, especially these Monarchs. So this is something's going on with this. I think this might have to do with like maybe a tracer. Probably was a tracer machine. See, I'm looking at this back here. Watch these boards. Don't trip.
Okay, thank you.
Also a model 22 CM, 24.5-inch swing, 96-inch centers. I just don't like all the weird extra stuff on these lathes, you know, even whenever they come at a cheap price. I just like a lathe to be like a lathe and to be like the way they were supposed to come. Yeah, see, this one only goes down to it 1.5 threads per inch, and it goes up to a 92, ultra fine. So this one must have been custom ordered this way with that lead screw. Defense Plant Corporation. Used to be a government machine, actually.
That's why it has the safety stuff on it.
Well, this was added on right here. Somebody put this on, whoever owned it. I don't know, I'm just not, I'd like something like this, but I'm just not digging this one. It's not making me happy. Let's go check out some other machines though. So this wouldn't be bad. Good mark. Alright, so let's find out what this one is. We have a 126-inch tool room lathe. It's a 20-inch swing. It's a 1963 model. Okay. They even have got the operator's manual, see? Lots of wear. Look at that. You see that there? They, whoever had it didn't do a good job of keeping these clean, because that is just chewed up, man. It's not that you can't use this. I mean, you can still use it, but that's just disappointing to see the ways you look like that. I like the old ones better. I like that. You know, the first one that we looked at, that style, like the one Dad had, I just like those better than this model, the 60s era. I like the 40s era much better. The wartime Monarchs, just like them better. You know, like when you come down and you're looking at this, the carriage, this looks a lot smaller than the one that I have, the 16-inch. This is much smaller. But it's fun to look anyway, right? It's fun to look. We'll check this out. See, this is a LeBlanc. See it right there. We'll walk around and see what else we got. This looks like right here. This looks like a big American pacemaker lathe right here.
Wow, that's a big boy.
Yeah, this is a pacemaker.
Look at that. Those are beautiful.
Oh yeah, they designed this back to like in the 40s and 50s to have that streamlined look, like after the airplanes and the trains of that era. They wanted them to look like that. But the American pacemaker. And let's see. And it's a raised headstock. I don't know what the swing is. The one that I operated had it casted into the bed there, but this is big. This is around 40 something inch swing. Just massive.
Is that the paperwork for it? Yeah.
This is a massive lathe, man. You got rapids on it. Some paperwork right there. This is all your gear, so 6 RPM would be your lowest, and then, man, that thing will go up to 600 RPM. Pretty good size bed. It looks to be a little bit longer than 12-foot center. So maybe around 12-foot center. It looks like it's got plenty of steady rest there to go along with it, which is a good plus. That's surprisingly easy to move. Gear reduction here. I'll get you to take a picture of me next to this and screw with everybody on Instagram. Hey, check out the new lathe.
This is definitely not fitting in the shop.
Show them that board bar right here. Look at that guy. Look how big this is. Big machine.
It's almost hard to tell the scale of it, probably.
It is.
On camera.
Let's walk around the other way and see what else we can find. Of course, they got some CNC machines. There's a Victor lathe back here. Victor's one of the ones I have. The Maytag. Another Maytag right here. Looks like they're having to do some work on it. They got the Let's look at this. They got the headstock there. Yeah, they're having to work on it. I particularly don't care for this type of machine. The one that I run was an Acroturn. It was the one that Dad had bought, and Acroturn is a copy of the Mazak style. And I don't know if Mazak was better than Acroturn. I want to believe that it was, but the Acroturn was made in China, and I believe they were inferior in quality build than maybe the Mazaks were. But the one that I run was just kind of a disappointment lathe. That was the worst lathe that I ever had to run. So whenever I see these machines, I just like I have no interest in them just because of the bad experience I had with that Acroturn. Now over there, that's a Victor, and that's what I have at home, except mine's a much smaller, and it's an excellent machine. It looks like they might be doing some, I don't know if he's cleaning it up or if he's doing some repair or what. He might just be cleaning the thing up. This would be a nice lathe to have. I mean, I think it's beautiful. You know, this is Taiwan made, and this is a good quality import lathe right here, Victor. This is a newer generation than the one that I own. Two-speed tailstock. That's cool. Well, let's keep walking. Almost time to feed Abby.
Yes, it is.
There's a couple hard-inch tool room lathes.
Those are babies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are high precision tool room lathes right there. These are made for like production work in like a production environment. When you're having to make a lot of little pieces and components, you would do something like this, and they're high precision. You don't normally use this particular hardened for like one-off little tiny pieces. You would, if you're just making a lot of one little thing, you have that turret set up with different tools on it, and you just keep working it back and forth. Every time you come back, it changes to another tool. Pretty cool, huh?
Very cool.
Small tool grinder over there. Like a 916, yeah, there we go, C916. This is the saw that my dad used to own that we had in our old shop, and this is a fine saw. If you're looking for a good manually operated saw, you got your hydraulic down feed up here, and it works great. You get it with the table out here that you can have your parts to, whenever you're cutting your parts to land on. We really like ours. Size that is, but you can't tell what size it is, but big surface grinder. And over here you got another big do-off saw. This is one of your automatic saws. So this guy right here will actually clamp your material and move your material down for each cut. So you can set this machine up to make multiple cuts at however many times you want, and it moves your material every time you want. Let's look at it. Here's another hardy.
this is like what the hardage that we showed over there, the little turn hardage, but this is more set up like a lathe though, like a full-on lathe. So you got your carriage. You got your carriage here, cross slide, compound, tail slide. These are beautiful machines, and a lot of guys love owning these. These are great for, you know, guys in their workshops and small shops. Good machines, but they're pricey though. These bring a lot of money. I think that's going to be about it. What do you think about us getting this?
I absolutely love it. I wish it would fit in the shop right now.
Me too. Well, first step we got to do is get the new shop.
Let's get the new shop.
We got to get the bigger facility.
I think this should be the first purchase.
Yeah, big lathe. And then start getting some of those big jobs in there on it. That would be fun. Well, we're going to keep working towards that goal. And you know what? I enjoyed being able to just stop and look at the machines. You know, even though I may not be in here buying something, but just being able to look at some of these machines in person is always fun and enjoyable, and being able to play with them. So that was a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and roll. We're headed south towards Tennessee. Abby's got some antique shops that she wants to stop in.
She does.
She's got some antique malls down there. So we're going to head that way and work our way back towards Florida now.
Time to eat.
Yep, time to get some lunch too. It is, look, it's noon.
It's noon.
High noon.
Time to eat.
By the way, show them that nice little dake press right
yeah.
there. Yeah, I like that. Nice dake press. Well guys, we made it back home to Florida, and that was the longest road trip that I've ever personally taken myself. We drove a total of 2,140 miles from driveway back to driveway. And I wanted to touch on this cargo carrier. I did a little video about that over on the A-Bomb Adventures channel, just talking about that and the bag. And I was really surprised at all the negative feedback that I got on that, when I was really just trying to show just a couple products that I purchased to use, when I was really just trying to be helpful in case other people out there were searching, trying to find some information about it. But instead, all I got was people that was more concerned about the tag placement on the back of the truck and license plate or tail lights. So I wanted to just kind of touch on how valuable this has been on this road trip. And I also wanted to point out, since that last video, that what I done before we left, I bought this little tag relocation kit and mounted it onto the back of this cargo carrier. I bought a little 4-way wire, so I've got it wired in right there. I've already taken the tag off, but so the tag's been here the whole time. It's got the light on it, so it lights it up, and so that has not been an issue. And I'm the only one on the road driving all the way up to Ohio and back. I'm the only one that I saw, that I know of, that has moved their license plate to the back of this thing. I couldn't believe how many people tried to tell me what the laws were when they have no idea what the laws really are. But anyway, I know that you got to have a tag showing, but the laws concerning this right here, as I say, are very muddy. There's a lot of people going around with things on the back of their vehicle that completely block their tag, and they're not getting pulled over. But there's also places that you can go and get yourself into trouble, such as a toll booth, where they take a picture of your license plate, send you a the fee, and if they can't get you, that you can get in trouble that way. So I was just trying to avoid any kind of problems by putting my tag right here with the light on it. Now, the other issue that I had guys commenting about was, well, what about the lights? You need to put lights on it because you're blocking them. No, you're not. This thing is 60 inches wide. From there to there, you're not blocking the tail lights. Even with this bag all the way out here, you're not blocking the tail lights. That has not been an issue. Saying that though, I would like to find some LEDs and probably customize this, put a plate here, and add some brake lights. I did save the other two wires, the yellow and the green wires. They're folded up inside the tube there for this for that wiring harness, so that I can wire those in to a couple additional brake lights. I just didn't have time to do that whenever we left. But there's the wiring harness right there. I drilled a hole in the bottom and fed the wires through and coming up there to the adapter, and it works really well. I also added that anti-rattle clamp right there, and that keeps the thing from shaking around very, very bad. Without that thing on there, it just rocks back and forth. But this bag right here was designed for this 60-inch wide by 24-inch deep cargo carrier, and it's worked really well. It's rain resistant. It the flap velcros over. You can see the zipper right there. It doesn't. We went through some torrential downpour rains on the way back, and the luggage, everything in there is completely bone dry. Not a lick of water got in this thing, so it's worked really well. And I bought these little clamps from Harbor Freight just to clamp up the extra straps right there. Same thing right here. Use these little plastic clamps there just to hold the extra strapping to the bar. But this has worked really well. I'll show you a clip later. This is our suitcases right here, right on the top, and underneath here we've got 3 of the action packers with all of our stuff in there, and it's worked really good. Abby's sneaking out there now, but she's got a bin full of her goodies, I've got a bin full of my goodies, and we've got another bin that's got goodies mixed with like extra shoes and dirty clothes and things like that. And I wanted this system like this because we had our planned pickup, which we got our Flexarm back here, and I've got all kinds of other things back there too. Okay, so that was why I wanted to do that. And then for the guys that's wondering why not just use the back of the truck, the back seat, well, that was full too, wasn't it?
It was full of goodies and my bags.
It was full of Abby's bags, like
My computer, I worked the whole time.
and
so
camera bags and cooler and so
we have our needs.
So I mean, the back of the truck was full of stuff too, especially by the time we got back. So this was a great system to be able to have extra places to put things, put our luggage on top with plenty of extra room. You see, you can put more stuff here. I had some more stuff in there, but this is how we ended up coming home. But the system worked really well, and I wanted to show this for the guys who saw it over on the A-Bomb Adventures channel. And this system will actually work on the back of the camper as well. Whenever we do road trips, I'll be able to put this on the back of the camper because I've got a custom receiver bumper that I fabricated, which I'm going to be showing on the channel, and we'll put this on the back of the camper, do the same thing, and just have a little bit more light duty cargo carrying capacity on that as well. So I really like this. This was like 125 bucks on Amazon. The bag was $65. The clamps were like $1 a piece at Harbor Freight, and it's worked really well. Wouldn't you say?
I think it's awesome.
It's worked really well.
It's so nice to have the big stuff out of the back, and then also I worry about things getting like wet or stolen or whatever. I mean, I realize someone could steal something out of that, but it's nice that it's all closed up and
I don't have that luxury of having a cover on the back. A lot of guys have those covers. That's something I'd like to look into, is getting one of those hard covers that fold up.
This is exactly the reason why, because we carry so many things so often.
I just haven't reached that point. So this worked out really nice right there, and I would recommend it to somebody else that needs a little bit more capacity.
And those totes fit in there perfect.
Yep, and I'll show you. It's the Rubbermaid 24-gallon action packers. I'm going to open it up here, and I'll give them another clip of that. Look the flap up there. Don't you just enjoy the free music going by? You guys blasting that ghetto music. Somebody had made a comment on Instagram or Facebook or whatever about, don't trust that bag because your luggage could still get wet from the bottom. It's a complete bag. You set the bag down in there and it's completely sealed up. That's what it's designed to do. So there you can see, there's our 2 suitcases right there. We'll go ahead and pull a couple of them off.
Guess I'll be doing laundry.
We're trying to I'm trying to get unloaded because we got like a rain cloud right there and it's acting like it's going to rain on us. I just wanted to show you the totes. See, we got the 3 totes that fit in there perfectly. The 24-gallon Rubbermaid totes.
That's for you.
Oh, there's some of our treasures right there. And my neighbors look like they're going to pull in and talk to us now because we just got back. We got one. Oh, look, more decimal charts.
I thought that was my bin. Apparently not.
It is your bin.
Is it?
But these decimal charts fit perfectly on top. I wanted to try to show everybody some of the scores that we got, but that's going to have to be later. But we got a couple of the decimal charts right there on top. This looks like a couple of yours.
Yes, it is. Folk art. Love it.
She's got a couple of the folk art. Okay. But look, see, this thing is full. That's all her little treasures. Looks like another picture, and all of her antique. Here you go. All the antique place treasures right there. So we really love these bins and how they're working out right there. Let's see. I'll see if I can give you this action packer right here. This one I actually bought whenever I was a teenager, probably around 16 years old, back when I was first getting into camping. I think I was around 16, and I bought this probably from Walmart, and that's how long I've had it. So it's full of a bunch of rusty iron. I found these wheels right here and got them for a pretty good price, and I don't know, I picked up a few of these things just because I think that I might be able to utilize these on the future barbecue pit whenever I do make it. Even if I don't, they're going to be used for something like that.
They're beautiful.
There's going to be some kind of wheel. They do have a slight bit of crown to them so that they're not machined completely flat across the top. And I did pick up 2 of these along the way, not because I need them, but I know that sometimes other guys are hunting these things, and these can be hard to find, especially when you're needing a certain size. This looks to be about maybe a 12-inch or so. Flat belt pulley for guys that are setting up flat belts, you know, machine shop, any kind of machinery running off the flat belt system. So I got a couple of these just because they were there. They weren't that expensive, and that's why. So anyway, that's a couple of those right there. I just wanted to share the cool system. And the other thing that I like about having this on the back of the truck is that this right here is a lot easier to get to versus this tall truck bed getting inside that bed right there. And just so that everybody knows, we did upgrade the truck. I had a lot of people asking about that, but I didn't say anything about it just because I just don't feel like talking about it anymore. But Abby upgraded trucks. I didn't. That's Abby's truck, isn't it?
Yeah, if I get to drive it.
Why don't you? Oh, you don't get to drive it.
The whole trip you didn't let me drive.
You're going to drive on Colorado.
Colorado. I'll drive the whole time.
I just told him we drove 2,140 miles total from driveway to driveway. But Abby decided she wanted to have a 3/4 ton instead of the 1,500. So she went and picked one out.
You know they're not buying that, right?
So I'll let her go pick one out. She's got her Ram 2500 now with a Cummins diesel with 800 foot-pounds of torque. And it did awesome on the trip. I don't know, we probably got about, I guess, 1,300 pounds of cargo. Flexarm with all the iron, and you don't have to worry about hills. You set the cruise. I haven't shown them all the goodies. There's all kind of cool stuff in there.
Am I spoiling it? Sorry.
We'll show them later. So I don't know what else we're going to share. I really just wanted to talk about this cargo carrier, but we had a great trip, a lot of fun. It was really cool getting up to Ohio and visiting everybody in Lexington, Kentucky, visiting the guys there at Flexarm, and then Abby and I getting to do all of our antiquing, especially on the way down. We did a lot of fun antique places. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little bit of footage that I threw together for you.